Now we'll take a look at how the observer pattern works schematically. And in the observer pattern, you have observers and subjects. So the subject is the object that creates events in which things happen, like such as button clicks and so forth. The observer is the object that needs to be notified when those events occur. So here's how the observer pattern works. You have an observer. This is observer 1, an object, and it registers with the subject. In other words, it tells the subject it's interested in knowing about events that occur inside the subject. This is called registration, so it registers with the subject. As you saw in the previous movie, that was like add action listener to a button. In any case, we're going to see various ways in which observers can register with subjects. So now the subject knows that observer 1 is interested in learning about events that occur in the subject. That happens when observer 1 registers with a subject. You can have multiple observers registering with a subject. Here's observer 2. It also registers with a subject. Now the subject object knows that whenever an event occurs, it must notify not just observer 1, but also observer 2. So the subject must keep a list of registered observers inside it in order to work with this design pattern. And when an event does occur inside the subject, it sends notification signals of some kind, usually a method call, from the subject to the observers. You see there's some event occurring inside the subject, and notifications are sent to all registered observers, as you see like that. So notifications are sent to observer 1, and notification is sent to observer 2. So in this way, whenever an event occurs inside the subject, all registered observers are notified automatically. Keep in mind that the subject maintains a list of registered observers, and if an observer wants to not get notifications anymore, it can unregister with the subject. So if the observer 1, for example, says, I'm going to unregister with the subject, then the subject removes observer 1 from the list of objects that are to be notified when an event occurs. So as you see, observers can register and unregister with the subject. So it's up to the subject to maintain a list of observer objects that need to be notified whenever an event occurs. And now, after observer 1 has unregistered with the subject and an event occurs in the subject object, the notification only goes to the registered observer 2, because observer 1 is no longer registered. So that's fairly straightforward, actually. As you see, you can have observers that register with subjects, and you can have multiple observers that register with subjects, with a subject. When an event occurs, the subject, which maintains a list of observers, notifies those observers of the event. You can also unregister. An observer unregisters with a subject like this, and then is removed from the notification list. So that is a lot like the Java implementation of this design pattern, which you saw in the previous movie, and we're going to write some Java code to make this happen ourselves coming up next.